Welcome to Cleola Municipal Airport. I've flown here quite a few times, but I haven't posted any videos. And conveniently, nobody flies here right now. So this is my second post-Maiden flight video. I just did a little flight, finally. It took me 3 days to get off the ground. 3 completely separate days. Because the weather's been kind of nasty. It's still kind of nasty. So I'm still having carb issues. I really do not like that Walbro carb. It works great full throttle, works great idle. In between it bogs down, which is kind of annoying. You'll see me do a little double launch. Also, I sprouted an oil leak. I think it's coming from right here on my valve cover, where I reused the gasket. That's what happens when you reuse gaskets, I guess. Last time I tried to get off the ground, I noticed my starter motor was loose, so I took that off. And this time, my belt's a little loose. And then I noticed there's just a little movement in the bearings. And so I wonder if the slot I machined where the bearings go, due to vibration, has worn down a little bit, so I'll have to crack that open and check that out. But other than that, everything seems to be working great. I have awesome power. There's significantly more power than in the last one, and so did a few, S turns around above the airport. Came in for a nice little landing, and so I'm happy. I'm happy. Enjoy. And you might notice my idle is all over the place. That's a little weird. So it seems to do that after it warms up a little bit. I also noticed when I was coming in for the landing that my idle was really high after it's really warmed up. So this carb is bizarre. Yeah. And then so when I first go to launch, I get the wing up, and then there's some hesitation trying to go full throttle. And then it didn't want to go full power, and then the carb started choking a little bit. So I do a little launch, then I come down, and then I go full power, and it actually gets into the full power band, and then start to climb. And so I'm turning here to set up for doing a quick little full throttle test, which I haven't really done up until this point. And so I pointed towards those fields, and eventually I go full throttle. And what I did is I went back through the video and I turned on a frequency analyzer, and just to see roughly what RPMs my engine was running at. And so I got 55 hertz, which is I think around 3,300 RPM. But since or not RPM, pulses. And since this is a 4-stroke, a pulse happens only every other rotation, and so that equates to about 6,600 RPM at the engine, and my reduction is 2.5 ratio, so that's about 2,600 at the propeller, which means it's looking good. It's looking too good. I don't think it's actually this good in real life. What that would mean is, if I am hitting that kind of RPM with my prop, then I should be actually pushing quite a bit over 100 pounds of thrust, which I don't know if is the case. So I'm hopeful. I'll be very surprised if I'm pushing that much thrust on my homemade little turd, but I guess we'll see. I'll have to do further testing. Anyway, so at this point I've been flying for about 14 minutes or something like that, and my hands were getting really cold. I managed to get one glove on, but you can tell my throttle hand is quite red, and I was going to put the glove on and I was setting up for that, but I decided it's probably a good time to come down and take a look around, make sure everything's working okay, and so I came in for landing and called it a day. You can hear me complaining here. So I killed my engine a little bit higher than I meant to. So I meant to land a little bit closer to the car, but I went a little bit further in the mud. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah.